Hey guys, this is Coach Paul J, and I wanted to talk to you for just a few minutes. I want to talk to just you. This isn't a crowd I want to talk to, it's you. And I want to ask you something. When you think back to when you were younger, when you were a kid, was there someone in your life who guided you? Well, maybe it was a coach or a teacher or just someone who took the time to show you how to improve at something. Someone who didn't expect you to be perfect, but push you to try again when you messed up. You probably didn't think much about it at the time. You just showed up, listened, practiced, and slowly got better. But if you really think about it, that person played a bigger role in your life than you realize. They helped shape how you handle changes. They helped build your confidence. They showed you the progress comes from effort and not from perfection. Now, fast forward to today. Life looks different. It sure does. And for me, for you, for everybody now. So there's no clear set of rules anymore. There's no one on the sidelines telling you how to adjust your game or how to improve. You are expected to just figure it out. Maybe you have in some areas, but maybe there are other parts of your life where you feel stuck. Maybe you've got your goals and haven't moved on, at least made your goals, but haven't moved on. Maybe you feel like you should be further along than you are now. I know I do. And if this is the case, I want you to know something. That feeling is more than normal than you think. That feeling, there are a lot of people that have the same feeling. Because growing up doesn't remove the need for guidance. It just makes it less obvious. You know, buck up, big boys don't cry. All those things that you learned in many, many years ago. And maybe you learn things that you've forgotten. But if you have, it makes it harder to live life. Sometimes you're stuck or whatever. You're somewhere where you can't negotiate, or you're somewhere that you really don't know what to do next. Well, that's where a life coach comes in. Now, I'm not talking about someone who tells you what to do and tries to control your life. It's not like that. Think of it more like this. Remember how your youth coach used to watch how you played, whatever sport it was, then pointed out small adjustments for you, say, try this. Focus on this. Don't quit yet. You're real close. I remember playing basketball in high school, and my high school basketball teacher, or my coach, my high school coach, he was also the gym teacher. But he took me aside one day after practice and he said, Paul, you need to learn that left hand. You don't use your left hand enough. So I want you to start practicing using your left hand. Well, that helped me immensely, because that way I could shoot with either hand, and the defender didn't know which way I was going to go. Excuse me. Remember how your youth coach used to watch you. That's what we want to talk about. Now, who's watching you now? A life coach does something very similar, but instead of focusing on a game, they focus on your life. They help you get clear on what you actually want. They help you see what might be holding you back and why you feel like you should have done more. And they help you take real steps forward, not just thinking about those steps, but real steps forward. Because let's be honest, it's easier to think about change and it's harder to actually follow through. Not because we're incapable, but because we're human. We're all human. We all have some of those things. You get busy, you get distracted, you second guess yourself, you start something and then stop. And that's not because you don't care about those things, but it's because life gets in the way. You get married, you start having kids, things get crazy, however that works in your life. A life coach helps you to stay on track. They give you something most people don't have anymore: accountability. Just like when you were younger, when someone expected you to show up and try, that's what you did. And here's another thing. Sometimes the biggest thing holding you back isn't your situation, but it's how you see yourself. A good life coach will help you to work through that, not just hyping you up, but helping you prove to yourself step by step that you are actually do what you think. You can actually do that. It's possible. And over time, that builds real confidence. And that kind of confidence sticks. Now, you might be thinking, shouldn't I be able to do this on my own? Well, that's a common thought. But think about it in this ways. Athletes and very successful people, CEOs and those bosses that you've had, don't stop needing coaches once they get good. In fact, the better they get, the more they rely on coaching and improving even further. So why should life be different for you? Getting support doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're serious about the growing. And honestly, having someone in your corner, someone who's focused on your progress without judgment, can make a bigger difference than you expect. Because sometimes it takes the right perspective, the right question, or even the right little push at the right time. Just like when you were younger. You didn't become better overnight. You improved little by little with someone guiding you all the way. And you can still do that now. You're not stuck. You're just at a point where having the right support could help you to move forward and with more clarity. So, if you've been feeling like something's missing, or that you're not quite where you should be or where you want to be, it might not be because you're failing. It might be because you're trying to do it alone. And you don't have to. Just something to think about. So I'm Coach Paul J. And send me a direct message or look me up at meet.coachpaulj.com. Thanks a lot. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.